of anything is bad for the soul. To maintain control. Don't be too real, too strong. Too much of anything is bad for the soul. Gotta have balance to maintain control. Don't be too real, too strong, too right. Don't be too real, too strong, too right. Welcome to the huddle, the P.O.P show, power of perspective. Yours truly, the Honorable Trav P, who coming live, knowing that your attention is the most powerful thing that you can pay. So those that's paying me some attention right now in the moment or on the replay, man, I'm giving it all I got to be worthy. Keisha Johns, what's up, sister? Welcome to the huddle. Tonight, man, I want to talk about memories, man. Everybody got memories. The theme 2026 is see the real to everybody, or it ain't real to nobody at all. And everybody got memories, whether good or bad or right or wrong. We all got memories. Came to this word, man. It's like a spiritual step that brought me to the moment where I say, wow. So my son had exams this week. And it's one of them things where every time he get in the exam type of time, you know, he just express, you know, he want to do good. He want to say, Daddy, I don't want to overthink, man, but, oh, Daddy, I get so anxious when it's exam time. So I got to give him what I give him, and I've been giving him this the whole time. Every grade, every test, every exam. They say you just keep telling the truth, and at some point it'll catch if it ain't never catch, or at some point it'll get bedded till it becomes a part of their memory. So when they in situations, they got something to remember. I say, son, it's all memory. Say, just think about it as memory, son. See, everything you done learned all quarter, all semester, every test, every quiz, every passage, every piece of homework, you've been putting that into your mental. You've been storing that. There come a time at the end called the test, a exam. What do you remember? Those that can remember can put it down as they saw it, as they took it in. You say, hey, he got an A. So I try to simplify it for my son. Your memory is like a muscle, son. What can you remember? We all got memories. So I went in the bathroom to have my spiritual session. Felt good. So I told my son something real I've been telling him, and I felt he had a connection. I'll get to that later, but I felt he had a connection, and it was like, man, he get it. I saw him feeling more confident and feeling good about himself. He was still honest enough to say, Daddy, I still got it a little bit, but I kind of feel better, man. I don't want to overthink. He acknowledging it. He accepting it. He expressing it. So I know we're growing. So he getting it now. So I go in the bathroom. My phone ring. My cousin called me. He 4 years older than me. We grew up together like brothers. And he came. Now he ain't on Facebook. Let me tell a little humor how I get to the memory, but this real. He said, "Boy, I'm sitting here looking at your Facebook page." I say, "What's up, cuz?" And I'm laughing because I know he ain't no social media type person. So he said, "Boy, you crazy as hell talking about the Indian." He said, "Cuz, I'm Indian for real though, cuz." I say, "Man, go ahead on." He said, "No, on my daddy's side, man." He said, "You know, me and my brother probably the only two men you ever know ain't got no chest hair." You know, that's why. So I'm laughing, you know what I mean? And he talking his talk. So then he switched on me. He said, "Cuz, shit, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a mutt." I say, "Come on now, cuz, what you talking about?" He say, "Nah, man, it's a powerful thing to be a mutt." He say, "Man, I love a mutt to this day because of you." Now he telling me this, and I'm trying to figure out where he going. He say, "Man, you remember?" I paused. I say, "Do I remember?" He said, "You remember your dog Killer?" I said, "She was a mutt." I said, "Man, I ain't never saw a dog like her since it's her." He said, "She survived Hugo, the biggest hurricane coming to Charlotte in the history of the West Coast, of the East Coast." He said, "Man, she survived that. You remember that?" He said, "Man, you named her Killer because she killed everything in your yard." He said, "Man, I ain't never saw a dog like that. Do you remember your dog like that?" And it's kind of fucking with me because I don't consider myself a dog person. I kind of lock the memories of me and a dog. Oh wait, I don't remember. I don't have memories that I hold on to about me and a dog. But my cousin keep asking me, "You don't remember this?" And it's like I opened up the memory bank. I was a dog person. He say, "Man, she used to have puppies. You used to crawl under the house and you used to go under there and get the puppies out." He say, "Man, couldn't nobody go in the backyard but you, man." He say, "Man, I used to love you and that dog, the way you took care of that dog, and that dog was a mutt." I say, "Man, well, to be honest with you, the only memories I got of the dog is having to pick up shit every time we had a family reunion." So it just took me in a moment where I stopped and just said, how much do I remember? And when I say I remember, how much do you remember about things that truly impacted who you are? I'm talking about in this very moment. The good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad. How often do you open those memories? It's a powerful thing because everybody got them. What's the difference between memory and learning? See, sometimes when we think of memories, we always want to think about the good ones, because why would I want to remember something bad? A memory bank deposit, meaning a good memory when there's a moment of time that I may be in a space of darkness and I can make a withdrawal out of my memory bank to give me light, to think about a time where me, my children, and my wife were in a moment where nothing mattered but us in love. Oh, it could be a moment at work where I'm in darkness, aggravated, and I just pull out a good memory and smile. That's how it works. That's how it works. But what do we do with the bad? They there. You learn from them. You decode them. You find the spiritual essence in the experience. See, it takes negative and positive to create power. So the bad memories, we hold them as negative, but they keep us grounded. They keep us weighed down to understand where we're going, what we've been through, and it makes us aware to defend ourselves and protect ourselves. See, they serve a purpose. Them the ones that you really learn from. You decode them. They say when it's hurting, that means it's working. Sometimes in this here life, we get caught up in where we want to be and what we want to see. And in that moment, man, I'm going to speak for myself. They say patience is a virtue. You can be confident, you can know, you can see it, oh, you can taste it, you can touch it, you can close your eyes. But life has a process. Life has order, life has time. And you can have all the pieces of the puzzle, but this thing called patience, man, this thing here can beat you down. I want it now. I want it now. And that can look like lack of faith, frustration, stagnation, because can't nobody understand how much you believe, but you want it now. And the point I'm making about wanting it now is you got to realize that the truth is always in the moment. Say words or spells. If it's real to everybody, then it's real. If it ain't real to everybody, then it ain't real to nobody at all. The truth is in the moment. Now here. N-O-W-H-E-R-E. If it's now here, you look nowhere for the truth. N-O-W-H-E-R-E. Same spell, nowhere. It's now here. The truth is now where. You never find it nowhere else but now here. So if you're looking back, at your memories, they was the ingredients for the moment. And if you in the moment and you real, ain't nobody in the world, ain't nobody in the universe, ain't nobody on the planet, ain't nobody ever existed, ain't nobody ever lived, have more power, less power, equal power than we all got in this here moment. We in the moment. I'm talking about right now. Freestyle. Let go, let God, be free, be you. Because I'm going to be me in the moment. See, we romanticize the ideals of becoming something with no reality of being. See, when you being, you got to be in the moment. We human being God to each other in the moment. So don't be afraid to look in the memories that ground you, that created who you is in the moment. And if you can't look back at the journey, man, the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad, then it's almost an equation. It's almost a mathematical, spiritual equation that you ain't equaling out to your potential and who you're supposed to be in the moment. And you don't know where you at in your journey, but it's one moment at a time. Alexa, how long is a moment?
A moment is a brief, undefined period of time. It's like a wink from the universe, short, sweet, and a bit mysterious.
How many seconds is a moment?
A moment is typically considered 90 seconds.
A minute and a half.
That's right, a minute and a half equals 90 seconds.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help with those time mysteries.
One step at a time. One step at a time. Every step is a memory if you take it in purpose. Everybody got a memory. The key to a memory is a question. The key to a memory is a question. How did you get here? That question makes someone reflect on the path that they've traveled to the moment. The memories along the way become the understanding and knowledge of the path. Imagine arriving and don't know how you got there. You don't remember? And that may sound tricky, but there's been times I've been riding home at night in my younger days, about 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Addicted to bass. See, I can remember this like it was yesterday. Addicted to bass. I'm talking about 12s, massaging my back, soothing my soul. I can remember riding home in the wee hours of the morning, so intense in the moment that all I saw was the white lines. And I would pull up at home and I don't remember passing anything. At first, sometimes I used to get scared, like, man, I don't remember getting off the highway. I don't remember. It was like I blacked out, but I blacked out in pure consciousness of love, man. I'm talking about with the bass on my back into the groove, man. I'm talking about letting go and letting God and knowing I'm finna arrive. Do you remember doing that? Do you remember the experience of that? Say it's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. Do you remember? David Thomas, you already know what I'm saying, brother. I always remember this moment. Thank you, brother. I want to say this right here. This morning, I took a vitamin D, a prescription vitamin D. I worked third shift for 6 years. It's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. That's where I'm coming with it. I worked third shift for 6 years. And every time I would go get my physical, and I say this to anybody that work third shift, the doctor would always emphasize, Travis, you got to get that vitamin D. I was vitamin D deficiency. Right now we in a season where the sun is its furthest away in our cycle. It's winter. It's death season. The sun is its furthest away, but it's on its way back since Christmas. It's coming back, but it hadn't got here yet. Outside tonight is cold as hell. It's flu season. People getting sick. When they get sick, the main thing they need to do is hydrate. Vitamin C, vitamin D is the nutrient and the vitamin that comes from the sun, the rays of Ra. This is what this is about. The rays of Ra, vitamin D. The rays of Ra that grabs a hold of you and wraps around you like the sun is supposed to is what strengthens you to be upright. Vitamin D. Anyone who's ever cared for plants or any agriculture, when the sun is not present, they begin to droop. They begin to stoop. They need sun. It's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. This is the season where Jesus is furthest away, the sun. So all I'm simply saying that to say, in this here season, take you some vitamin D. This is the season of depression. Christmas was not a month ago. Do you remember? Oh, how we forget the sacrifices that we've made for a moment, for a day. Do you remember? It wasn't that long ago. The effects of that is still real. Still in the season of depression and worryation, we're swooping down. Take you some vitamin D. I took me some today. Felt my posture change and things begin to change and seeds begin to sprout. When you see how it worked on the next cycle, remember this moment. Remember that moment when you can feel the difference. It's just the difference between remembering and learning. This is the difference between overstanding and understanding. Sometimes we want to understand so much that we want to stay up under it and look at under it from up under it. But sometimes you got to get over and stand over it to truly see how it works in its totality. That's the difference between remembering and learning. Remembering is repeating. Learn is repeating with purpose. Everybody remember the movie, but nobody understood or overstood the point. Everybody remember the story. Everybody can recite and remember the scripture and where and when and who and what. But can anybody or everybody don't really understand the point? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great mighty fall. Do we understand? Examine the slip, not the fall. Do you remember the slip? I ask a lot of my friends and loved ones who's experienced divorce, heartbreak. And I don't mean that in a bad way or any type of way. That's life. It happens. But the most fascinating thing that makes me just wonder, they say the key to a memory is a question. I say, hey, what do you do with the good memories? Most of them get stunned because it's a bad relative situation, meaning that they lost, it's over. At some point it became bad to where it wasn't worth it. So now it's like it never happened. But I know in real life, because I was there, what do you do with the good moments? I was there. And for me, it's still good. So I see both of y'all there. But what do you do with the good moments when the situation went bad? And every time I ask it in a rhetorical way. You understand what a rhetorical question is? A rhetorical question meaning is I'm saying it in a way to where the question is more powerful than the answer. The key to memory is a question. I never thought about it like that. So at least in the moment, if I'm casting a spell, I'm at least making them think about something good that they may have been trying to lock away. Oh yeah, you still have them. Children still depend on them memories. But we can keep them locked away. It's kind of like a bridge. A bridge was somewhere connecting two pieces of land, two neighborhoods for 40 years. For 40 years, people walked across both sides to this bridge. I mean, powerful memories were made every time people crossed this bridge. And after 40 years, on the 41st year, the bridge collapsed. Nobody will ever cross the bridge again. But the impacts, the memories have created roots. And the bridge will always be defined from here on after because of the major power that would happen while people was crossing. The question more powerful than the answer. Maybe the good memories can make you reflect. I say examine the slip and not the fall. Empathy, forgiveness. Comb through your memories. Especially if you're standing in a place of the moment where you can honestly be honest with yourself in the mirror to say, man, I ain't really standing in the peace that I know is real. How you get here. Where you're trying to go. What you're doing to get there. My cousin called me about a dog and made me remember a piece of myself that I keep locked away. So I called my other friend, Bam, who stayed across the street from me in Hidden Valley, and I asked him, I said, Bam, man, let me ask you a question about when we was growing up. Do you remember me and my dog, or just me in particular with my dogs? He said, you talking about the little black dog that got killed in the front yard? I said, hell no. Talking about a dog named Midnight. Now I'm realizing, well, I'll be damn. I had another dog that people remember. My first house dog. Let her out to pee. Didn't let her back in. Woke up to go to school. She was laying in the yard, dog. Something had done ate little midnight up. Man, I was so heartbroken. Man, I cried all day in school that day, man. Something ate my dog, my first house dog. I love that dog. I was young. They say pit bulls kill other dogs. It was some people down the street that had a pit bull. You couldn't tell me in my mind their dog didn't get off the chain and come eat my dog. He was laughing. I say, man, go ahead. He said, you remember that dog? I said, yeah, but that ain't the dog I'm talking about. He said, yeah, I kind of vaguely remember the dog in the backyard, but, you know, ain't nobody never go back there. So I ain't had no experience with the dog. Ain't nobody never go in your backyard. And he grew up across the street, but my cousin knew about Killer because my cousin was family. He had access where everybody wasn't supposed to access your dog. Made me remember things. Just coming up, my family want a dog. Man, I'm remembering why now. I'm remembering why I don't want a dog. I really don't want a dog because that was the first time I really had responsibility. I called my daddy. I say, Daddy, why did you bring that dog home? He said, well, he was a wild dog down at the job. He would just run around, and I just brought it home. I said, hell, we ain't got no dog. He said, but that dog was wild. He said, I ain't know what kind of dog it was. I had to trap it and catch it, and I brought it home and just put it in the backyard, and you start playing with it and feeding it. It was a wild dog. I say, what? I said, but what made you want a dog? He said, hell, I don't know. We ain't have no dog. I said, well, what happened to the dog? I said, and better yet, I remember she had two. See, now I'm remembering. I said, I remember she had two litters, Daddy. What happened to the puppies? So I don't know what hell happened to them goddamn puppies. I don't know. We must have gave them away. So I remember being close. Then I had two more dogs after that. And my last dog, I remember taking it to the vet. I had to put it down. I remember being so connected to dogs. They say a dog is a man's best friend. I really felt I can look my dog in the eyes and talk to it. And I remember realizing that a dog life only lasts so long. And I was so empathetic to soul's eyes that I trained myself to talk to my dog. And I said, man, I ain't going to get myself in that type of entanglement and emotional shit with an animal no more. So I've been denying my family a dog. But that was my first responsibility, and that was my first real hurt. My cousin said, boy, you was goddamn a fool with that dog. I said, I was? Jerome, what's going on, man? All this brought back the memories. But that dog taught me something. I talk about empathy. I talk about all the shit that sound crazy. Shout out to Black and Deuce, a man and his dog. Man, dog is a man's best friend. I don't know how I got here, but I'm going to go here. If it's real to everybody, then it ain't real to nobody at all. The dog is a man's best friend. The Lord is my shepherd. There's something about the dog. Do you remember? We already know. We done heard it before. Dog backwards is God. G-O-D, D-O-G. A blind man needs a seeing eye dog. When a blind man can't see, a dog will guide him. When a hungry man, hungry and need to eat, a hunting dog will get on the scent of some meat, some prey, and find it and attack it and give him his food, give him his meat to eat. A hunting dog. When a man has been in the field, in the world all day, and is tired and need to lay down and have a vulnerable moment, his dog will stand there and guard him and protect him and give him a moment of solidarity to be at peace and be asleep. That's called his guard dog. And when a man is despair, and he feels alone in a crowded room where he feels no one really understand him, or he's experienced some things that have effects on him that he can't shake, he came up with a service dog. I'm talking about just plain old best friend. So the alpha omegas and the Q dogs, they hang their tongue out. They want to be dogs. It's the dog pound. Everybody want to bark. Woof, 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 woof. See, I got the point, man. As a child. But I guess I try not to remember it. I guess I try not to remember that. But my cousin say, "Cuz, do you remember?" The question to a memory. The key to a memory is a question. What happened to you? And don't let that have the connotation of anything negative and derogatory. What happened to you? One of my most powerful, proudest memories of my life that impacted who I am in this moment is when I won the student council election to become the student council president in the 6th grade. I can remember it like it was yesterday. No matter who and what room I'm in, I can close my eyes and remember who I am in that moment. And I realize it, and I'll never, ever, ever in my life forget it. What happened to you? That happened to me. The question is more powerful than the answer. Perspective is a powerful thing. Connotation, the ideas and feelings that words invoke. What happened to you? Who says there has to be a derogatory or anything negative happened to you? Another memory that I got that happened to me, that changed me, that made me who I am in this moment. I remember, man, just playing football, knowing I was good. But there was a moment, man, when I went to my first banquet with my mama and my daddy. And I'm talking about out of nowhere, man. I can remember this like it was yesterday, man. I can remember, man, sometimes, man, my heart get to beating. I can remember this moment out of nowhere. And they said, man, this MVP trophy goes to Charles Travis Perry. And I thought they was punking me way before punk. I looked around, and they started to talk about me. And the look I saw my mama and daddy face, I can remember something happened to me in that moment. Can't talk about nothing real but me to help you see. Something happened to me in that moment. I never forget it. I never forget it. Do you remember what happened to you? One of the most dangerous people on planet Earth is a humiliated person. One of the most dangerous people on planet Earth is a humiliated person. Alexa, what is the meaning of humiliate?
Humiliate means to cause someone to feel ashamed or lose their self-respect. It's about making someone feel small or foolish, often in front of others.
People never forget them moments. They never forget. They remember.
That's so
Even
true. The bond between a mother and child runs deeper than memory. It's woven into who they
Alexa,
are.
stop. People never forget them moments. Sometimes they become so dangerous and the ego go in rage, but consciousness calms them down. They maintain balance, but you never truly know the risks you was facing in one more moment. Humiliated people are the most dangerous people on planet Earth. Do you remember? Sometimes we choose not. But just like I just said, there's a balance come that shows you the outcome and it grabs you and holds you. It don't devalue that moment, but it becomes a tool for you to learn and understand who you are. Do you remember? Around the same time that I was developing my character about what happened to me, I told you, now I'm just going back there as a child. Basketball wasn't never my game, but it was my thing, and I could stand in that lane. I played on one of the best 10, 11, 13, 15 teams in the city of Charlotte. But it wasn't my game and it wasn't my lane, but I could hold my own and do my thing. So I was in a situation where somebody close to me put me in a situation to embarrass me and be challenged. I held my own, but it wasn't my lane and it wasn't my game. And I was hurt. It's one of the first times I was humiliated. Talking some real life shit. It's one of the first times in my life I was humiliated. I knew I was dangerous. Same boy that humiliated me by the hand of someone that cared about me. A couple of years later in high school, I was hoping he got in my lane. First time I ever understood I was dangerous. I never forget it. I always remember it. One of the first times I found my ego. It's who I am in this moment. Do you remember? It's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. Like I say, man, in 2026, let's stop playing games. The objective the bigger picture. It's really understand, man, the hero train, the discipline, the mentality, the understanding to really see how this thing work. Understand our position in it and make it work for us. Because those on the outside looking in, no matter what filter they see it working, it will be whatever it need to be to define God. Them people blessed. Kareem, you already know what time it is. Change, dog. But change is necessary. And change happens when necessary. Change equals grow. If it stay the same, it's dead. If you see something sitting there in a certain type way and you come back a matter of time later and it's still in the same type way, it ain't moved, it ain't living, you got the question, is it dead? But I'm saying in this here year, let's get real. Let's understand our position to make it work, man. Because if we don't, they're going to work it on us. And I'm telling you right now, I can sound crazy or whatever. I really don't give a damn. But, man, they working some powerful shit on us. Man, I've been talking this truth from my soul, man. Ever since I was goddamn about 10 years old, man. And as I grew old and realized, man, that I got to be different because there's something different in me. I don't know what touched me for me to see. They say many are called, but few are chosen. Who called you? Show thyself thy prove. If it ain't packaged like we programmed to receive it, we reject it. No matter how much it's in love. Truth is in the moment. Truth is deeper than sound. Truth is something you feel from one another, a vibration. Truth is synonymous with love. Love is synonymous with care. Alexa, what is the meaning of care?
Care means to feel concern or interest for someone or something. It's about showing attention, affection, and responsibility.
Alexa, stop. So in the moment, if you share in the moment and you can feel the care coming from somebody in whatever context, just meaning. See, that's the most powerful thing, man. We can call that whatever or we can call it what not. But when you feel it, it's real and it's true. And that's real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. But when we can meet in that moment and we know it's real. See, I'm real enough unapologetically to know I traveled the journey to stand where I stand. And in the moment, it's real. But it don't sound like it's supposed to sound to some people that only been taught that it sound a certain way. And they'll say, and I'm talking about me personally, and that hurt. And that hurt. Because I've shared moments with people way beyond words. He said, you say you don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe in Jesus. What do you believe? What do you believe? And I tell the truth, but the truth don't sound like you programmed to pick it up. And that right there becomes the void, all the real moment that we experience. And I know care real. It hurt. But I watch us, man, be so empathetic to the programming. Where the monks come through town with no understanding of their theology, their divinity, or their concept of God, but all they speak is a word of peace. And we forfeit all the things that divide us as people. And we don't even understand them things. But we'll unify. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. But I love you. And I know the most powerful thing you can pay is your attention, because you only pay your attention to what and who you care for. And if somebody that loves you is crying and craving for your attention, they just need assurance that you care. They just need assurance that they matter. They're just really telling you that the most powerful thing about you ain't your money, it ain't what you got, it ain't what you can do for me, it ain't what you can buy for me, it's your attention. I just want you to really look at me and be with me and show me that you care. And if you don't know that that matters, you're doing every goddamn thing that don't matter. You're buying them this, you're buying them that, you're taking them here, you're taking them down. You're doing every goddamn thing everywhere, but you ain't giving the center of truth your attention. Ain't nobody but the bullshit. We all can remember what that feel like. I love you, man. Kareem, you already know what time it is, man. Man, I love y'all. Y'all have a good one. We're going to be in here next week. Remember, man, the power of the memory is a question. Stand in that mirror. And I ain't talking no mystical shit. I ain't talking no deep shit. I ain't talking no woke shit. I ain't talking no political shit. I ain't talking no religious shit. I ain't talking no shit. All I'm saying is when you brush your teeth in the morning and you looking in the mirror, tell yourself something and ask yourself something. Ask yourself something to remind you or give you overstanding how you got to the moment. You got to remember. They say if you don't know where you come from, then you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. But only a divine path will bring you here to the moment. That is where truth lives. So have a moment in the mirror. At least twice a day. I ain't saying nothing deep. I ain't saying nothing woke. I ain't saying nothing religious. I ain't saying nothing spiritual. I ain't saying none of that shit. You at least got to brush your teeth 2 times a day, standing in the mirror, washing your face. You should wash your ass 2 times a day. Or something in the bathroom. I ain't saying nothing deep. This shit ain't deep. The most powerful power is invested in you. You got it. Everybody got it. If it ain't real to nobody, then it ain't real to nobody at all. Everybody got it. The objective is to those that understand it, come together as one to show how powerful it is in unity. Stop the violence. That's a rhetorical phrase. The only power of violence you have is to control yourself and stop yourself from acting a goddamn fool. And if you align yourself with people who at least understand that in that control, then you will almost goddamn create the pathways of peace. That's how it works. I love you, man. Y'all hold me down.